Hi Michael. It's been 3 games so far, 3 wins, flying start, man of the month nomination that you've had today. Has what's happened in these first few games, has it in any way changed your thinking about what happens at the end of the season? Anything in your talks with the club at all, and has it whetted your appetite to try, if there was ever any chance, to have this job full time?
Nothing's changed, no, to be honest. It's not going to change my, what I do or how I feel about it. I think I'm fully aware of the role I'm doing here and the responsibility I've got, and we want to be successful. I want the club to be successful beyond the end of the season. If that's me, if that's somebody else at this stage, I can't control that, and we'll see what happens. But it's certainly about trying to improve the team and keep making Manchester United stronger and improving all the time. But nothing's changed. The results over a short period of time don't change that. If they have changed that, there's something wrong. It can't be so knee jerk either way. Whether it's really good or whether there's a few issues we need to solve. It's steady progress really, and you kind of know that football can twist and turn just as quick, so we got to keep a bit level really and keep focusing on what we need to do. But
if this continues as it is doing, you'd be happy for your name to be part of that conversation?
Listen, I'm loving what I'm doing. I'm here, and I feel at home here, but I fully understand the situation, so I'm not getting too carried away.
Sarah?
Hi Michael. How big is the man management challenge for you since you've been back here? Because when you were here previously, it was a short period. Middlesbrough in the Championship, it's games every 3 days, isn't it? Here, you've not had many games, and obviously everyone wants to play. There's not enough games to go around in this squad. You look at people like Ben, who's made an impact off the bench. Do you almost feel an obligation to give someone like that a start and they've impressed off the bench? And how difficult has it been to talk to players and keep them happy when there's just not enough games to go around?
Yeah, listen, picking teams is the hardest part. There's no getting away from that. And deciding on who plays and who doesn't start. But the pleasing thing, and it's probably obvious to say in many ways, but the impact that we've had as a squad throughout the game, boys starting, boys finishing games, it's been incredible, to be honest, for that spirit and that. It's not easy. Sometimes you're disappointed when you don't play, but every game we've had a real impact finishing the game and whoever's been on the pitch, and I think that speaks volumes of the boys' mentality and their attitude that they've shown, and it's something we need to keep, and couldn't have been happier for Ben the other day. I spoke about after the game, it was a huge moment for him, and he totally deserves it for all them reasons, and the work he's been putting in, and the desire that he's got to be the best version he can be. He's been really impressive since I've been here, so there's a lot more to come from Ben, I'm sure. Whether that's this week, next week, or the week after, that's just part of being in this squad and growing together. And but certainly picking the team is the hardest part. But it's the boys have been fantastic and not giving me any issues at all.
James and then Rob.
Mike, have you got a time scale yet on Patrick Dorgu?
Not exactly. No, we're working through it. It'll definitely be a number of weeks. But it will be a considerable period of time. He's not going to be back in the next 2 or 3 weeks, but to be more exact is a little bit difficult at this moment.
So, there's been some speculation about 10 weeks. Could it be that long, do you think?
It could possibly. Yeah. As I said, we're kind of working through it. Certainly looking forward to getting him back as quick as we can and getting on the pitch long before the end of the season.
Yeah, he's been outstanding under you. In fairness, was gathering real momentum in the weeks before you came. How much of a blow is it personally and to the team to lose him?
Yeah, it's a blow. Listen, it's always a blow when you lose players and they can't be involved and we can't choose them. It's and especially when you've had an impact like Patrick did over the last few weeks, and just finding that next level, and unfortunately football throws things up, in the ups and downs, and for this short period of time it's he's disappointed. He wants to be fit, but his career is going to have a career for the next 10 or 15 years, and hopefully this is just a little moment for him, and coming off the back of the huge positive and the huge impact that he just had, I think when he comes back he'll be even stronger again.
Hi, Michael, can I just ask about Steve Holland and where the idea for that appointment came from, and also how important he's been to what you're doing on the training pitch and also the run of results that you've had?
Yeah, I think when talks were progressing, really, when it looked like I might be coming in here, I was spending some time thinking about what the staff might look like. I was actually having conversations with my brother, actually, and as I do all the time, but of what it might look like, and we ended up mentioning Steve. You kind of knew him from the FA, and I'd come across Steve a number of times, and fully aware of his experience and his quality as a coach as well as a person as well, and so it ticked a lot of boxes, and that kind of just it went from there. Spoke to Steve and we clicked straight away, and as the rest of the staff, to be honest, with Jonathan, Johnny and Trav and Craig, I think there's been a real good balance and a good connection between us, and feels like we've been together an awful much longer than just these 3 weeks.
Simon?
Just want to say that as well, Michael. I mean, both of you have worked as coaches under Jose. I mean, it feels like it's a very collaborative effort, all of you on the touchline, match days, training. But in terms of Jose's influence on you and on Steve, is that something that you've found a common ground with him, possibly?
I think it's more of just the experience in general at the level that he's had vast experience of so many in different scenarios. He's obviously been at Chelsea for so long, obviously growing up around here, being a massive United fan helps to start with, but being at Chelsea and being successful, winning trophies, knowing what it takes, different styles, different managers, different types of players. He's had a real good knowledge and backstory, really, if you like, of experience to kind of pick at, and we speak a lot about different things, all of us, all the staff. So there's the connection. Obviously, Jose, I learned a lot from Jose in the 5 months when I was coaching, even in that, when you see how he works, how he thinks, and how he sees players, and things end up coming off that he predicted at certain times. So he had a real good eye for that. So there's certainly that connection. I wouldn't say it's totally me and Steve with Jose, but there's definitely them common kind of factors that help us work together for sure.
Ian?
Hi, Michael. Kobe's been a big winner of you arriving here. Obviously, didn't have many chances previously. I wouldn't expect you to talk about that necessarily. But what did you see in him that convinced you to throw him straight in from a starting role into a starting role? And also, you've mentioned several times you know this club, you know what it's about. Academy players have always, since the Munich air disaster, have always been a huge part of this club. Is he the sort of player this club can be building around for long-term, many years into the future, possibly even beyond you?
Yeah, I mean, knowing Kobe to start with, I thought it was in what he can bring to the team. It was, it was just my thoughts to put him into the team, and thought he would give us an awful lot. I think from the club's, as a club's point of view, it's an ideal scenario to bring players through the academy and have them in the team and have them go through the career at this club and stay in and around it. I think I was fortunate enough to be with a lot of players that managed to do that. And I think it's important, and obviously with Munich and the kind of the foundation of the football club, it's everything feeds off that, So I'm not putting everything on Kobe's shoulders, It's he's doing terrific at the moment, and I'm sure he'll continue to be that way. And we want more of that. We want more players to come through the system and to get into the first team. And for me, there's no better feeling of giving younger players a chance. And he's taken the chance over recent weeks, and as I said, I'm sure he'll continue to do that.
Rich?
Hi, Michael. It's the first time we're talking to you since the window closed. I think if people looked at the squad, there's one area where it's a little bit thin. It's maybe midfield. If you get an injury there, you're quite vulnerable. What's your current thinking as to how you'll deal with that situation if it arises? Would you look to promote an academy player, or are there players we've seen Sandro play midfield this season, maybe Mason Mount? How would you deal with that situation?
Yeah, listen, there's all sorts of things can happen, so it's not a one fix. I think we've got a really good balance of a squad in general, and so there's plenty of solutions for us. Manu's obviously come on, and he's going to be a big part of our squad and our team for between now and the end of the season, and sharing the load. And we've got different things that we can do. It just depends what happens. You know, we got to be able to adapt and be flexible. But I'm confident we can find the right solutions if we needed to. But at the moment we're pretty stable and we're in good shape.